Namaste, Mitra. Welcome back. Now, as we have discussed yesterday, as a continuation to yesterday's discussion about the role of a husband, today, or pati, today we will discuss about the role of a wife. Now, wife in Sanskritam is termed as patni, which is again a very sacred term, which signifies or literally means she who is the power of the wielder. Pati means the one who wields power, and Patni is power herself, Shakti herself. So, for example, observe these terms such as Lakshmi Pati or Gauri Pati, Uma Pati, which means the one who has the ability to harness that particular Shakti. So Lakshmi Pati is the one who is able to harness the energy of Lakshmi. So in similar terms, and if you observe nature and cosmos, there is always a holder or a container for energy through which energy acts, or through which energy tries to accomplish its goal. For example, water is flowing energy, but that way it is not so functionally useful if it just keeps flowing. Yeah? So there is some, if there is a certain container like a well or natural water bodies which contain water, then the water becomes more useful for the rest of the universe. So similarly, Pati and Patni are a couple inseparable who have to function, who naturally function together. Now, the role of a Patni. Now, if I ask you to enumerate the role of a Patni, what would come in front? Can you just give names? Or there could be a big list, say, cooking, and then clothing, washing, cleaning, all the mundane routine work. But this is not just what it actually is. Patni is a highly spiritual term, and the roles, responsibilities, and the functions are quite magnificent and huge. They are not so belittling as mundane work. What it actually signifies ritualistically is that she, the Patni, is the accomplisher of all tasks of the Pati in a given household or certain area of functionality. That is why it is also said that in a yajna, a man alone cannot sit and perform a yajna. It has to be along with a Patni. So Patni is also called as Saha Dharmacharini. So it is only for the upkeep of dharma that Patni is required. So it is a very important and responsible position. Now, the Patni has several duties, among which conducting the household affairs is one. She is the one who has the power to either groom the future generation into a Hiranyakashipu or Prahalada. Isn't it? Think over it. So she has the power to modulate, or she has the power to bring certain outcomes which others cannot do so easily. So she is the one who is giving shape to the future society, and therefore to be able to do this with in a conscious intelligence to be able to decide of what outcome will be in the best favor of all, mm, that is the whole society in general. She should be able to foresee or have a great vision herself, and to do this she requires spiritual knowledge herself. So it is in the interest of the society that the Patni, before taking up such roles, invests time and energy in herself, in her own spiritual development and growth. Because until and unless she understands the literal meanings and purpose of life, how is she able to decide or make choices for the future generations or even the present generation? So it is only quite necessary that even before she delves or starts into the household, functioning as a home minister, she actually goes through reading the scriptures, trying to understand, gathering spiritual knowledge, not just knowledge, spiritual power as well. It is mentioned in the Shastras that there are a lot of vratas which the Patni can do, and which will enable her to harness energy, spiritual energy within herself, which will be helpful in controlling other negative aspects which might come in front, or put up obstacles in the path of this particular household. So it is that subtle, and there have been a lot of good examples, as Mata Aditi and the five Kanyas like Draupadi, like Sita, who have been able to harness the spiritual energy within themselves, be in yoga dhyana, and perform various tasks. Now this task is not only limited to the individual self or to the couple, or not just to the family, immediate family, but it has happened in the interest or the greater good of the society at large. So the entire humanity here is blessed to have such women. Have you ever taken a note about these women? So take time out, and it will be quite interesting for you to go through their history and their own lifestyles, as to how they commanded and demanded their positions, their rightful positions, and how they were able to maneuver and enable the men of their households to make better decisions, choices, and in living intellectually and spiritually, so that the entire life of the people in concern is meaningful, purposeful. So it's all in the hands of the Patni. So never call yourself a wife, or any other term which belittles you. Use powerful terms, and that will in itself be a great motivation for you to go about doing a greater task of establishing peace and welfare in the human society, whether it may be nationally or internationally. So you are a great figure, and you should never limit yourself to just one person or two people, or say just one family. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is what your aim is, and that is where you should reach. That is when you will realize your own potential, and when you make your offering to the society, that is when you will start feeling fulfilled, and there will be a greater sense, deeper sense of satisfaction that yes, you have achieved something, you have achieved your purpose of life. So much for now. Do connect with me in the comment section, and let's take this discussion forward. Namaste, Mitra.